In the world of the rich and the influential, just about anything is possible. This is all thanks to their wealth and need for a luxurious lifestyle. To fulfill the need of living in luxury, there was a need to create private islands among the rich and famous. When the need for man-made islands comes up, the super-rich do nothing but give in to the demand. Today, we are looking at the world's most exotic man-made islands. Spiral Island. Spurred out of the need to have his very own island, British artist Richard Soa back in 1998 thought out a captivating idea to build his very own island from plastic bottles. Actually, Spiral was the name given to this island since it was a floating island that stood in the midst of the Mexican River. Soa did the majority of the construction himself, starting off this project in 1998 and finishing just 2 years later. Soa created a 66 by 50 foot floating island using over 250,000 plastic bottles. Reishi was able to achieve this by going into the landfills to find disposed plastic bottles while simultaneously building an amazing island from it. You would think he stopped creation right after the island was built, but no. Soa went on to build a 2-story building right on the island. And that's not all. The island also had a solar ovate and 3 beaches. With fishing and a little gardening Rickard engaged in, he was entirely self-sufficient in his own paradise. Interesting still, due to the floating nature of the island, it was portable as well. Its original construction location was Mexico. However, when the local authorities asked Soa to move, he tied his personal paradise on a boat and moved 200 kilometers away from its original location. Sadly, the island was destroyed by Hurricane Emily in 2005. Unperturbed by the disaster, Soa picked up the pieces of what was left of his home and built a new island that currently stands even to this day. Hulhumale Island. Lying cozily at the south of North Malé Atoll in the Maldives, the Hulhumale Island is a beautiful blend of the wistfulness of the past and the thrill of the future. This artificial reclaimed island lay around 8 kilometers off the northeast coast of Malé and was built to ease the housing mess and congestion in Malé, as well as to make way for future industrial and commercial development. The whole island sprawls across a massive 188 hectares and is made up of a delightful blend of urban and island life. The Hulhumale Island was created out of the need to address housing issues back in 1997. To solve this, the government commenced the reclamation of a lagoon adjacent to Malé. Deep-sea dredgers poured millions of tons of sand onto the volcanic bedrock that eventually became the Hulhumale that we now know. Placed 2 meters above sea level, this man-made island was designed to resist the threat of rising sea levels. The development and management of this exotic island were undertaken by a government-owned corporation called Housing Development Corporation. The Hulhumale Island was built with thoughtful consideration for social, economic, and environmental impact. This island is about 1.5 miles, making it the 4th largest island in the Maldives. This island is also very popular amongst tourists and was said to have cost roughly $32 million for its construction. Willingdon Island. The man-made Willingdon Island at the heart of the Kokon port is a busy hub for cruise liners and commercial shipping. Interestingly, this island is a popular destination for ferry trips from the mainland and a departure point for backwater boat tours. At the port's quaint Maritime Heritage Museum, rare photographs and nautical relics trace local seafaring history. The quieter green areas around the island are home to various upmarket hotels. Reportedly built way back in 1936 by Robert Bristow and named after the governor of Madras Presidency, Lord Willingdon, this is the largest man-made island in India that connects the mainland, Ernakulam, to Fort Kochi and Mattancherry. This island has a total built-up area of around 2.5 million square feet and hosts over 215 outlets that actively attract tourists. No doubt, this island is by far one of the largest on the list. Imagine stepping onto an island to enjoy the serene and charming beauty of the natural places, only to be told the next instant that the island you have so much attributed to nature's wonder was actually man-made and entirely artificial. Now, would you not be shocked right out of your socks? Well, This is exactly the feeling you get standing on this island. This island spans over 775 acres, promoting a feeling of tranquility and satisfaction for vacations and business trips. Amwaj Islands. In the year 2000, the proposal to provide foreigners with 100% freehold land ownership was formed. Amwaj was the first result of this plan. Remarkably, Amwaj Island was the first freehold area in Bahrain. Because of that, it continued to be a preeminent attraction for local and international investors. It is also the first man-made island project to be developed in Bahrain, positioned 10.5 kilometers northeast of Bahrain's main island. Amwaj Islands traverse around 4.3 square kilometers of reclaimed soil. The mega project covers 6 man-made islands, each offering its unique, exquisite lifestyle. Tala, Najma, Asdaf, Merjan, Jude, and Lulu. Amwaj Islands have long proved themselves as one of the most expensive and premier fields to live in Bahrain. The man-made islands provide a wide range of residential options that vary from one-bedroom flats to spacious villas. The islands offer their occupants a relaxing environment and deluxe waterfront properties where they can relish the enchanting views of the blue waters while having easy admittance to Al Muharraq Island through 2 causeways, each with a length of 1 kilometer. The astonishing island is also 4.5 kilometers away from Bahrain International Airport and 15 minutes away from Bahrain's capital city, which makes it an even more desirable destination for tourists and therefore the hospitality industry. The Venetian Islands. Sure, when we hear Venetian, the next thing that comes to mind is Venice in Italy. Nevertheless, despite the name of these islands, the Venetian Islands are built off the coast of the Miami Beach in Florida. The Venetian Islands are a string of man-made islands in Biscayne Bay crossing through the cities of Miami and Miami Beach, Florida. The islands are from east to west. Incipiently built around 1920 as a monument to railroad pioneer Henry Flagler, the islands are united by bridges from the Miami mainland to Miami Beach. If you have no detailed information about this island, you would easily believe that this island is as natural as it could be. Funny enough, right before the Venetian Islands project was proposed, the idea was to build a chain of islands that are expected to be much larger than what we see today. Back then, another causeway was to be created called the Drive of the Campanelli. The causeway was proposed to join Di Lido Island to Hibiscus Island, south of the Venetian Islands. The road would then extend north right up the center of Biscayne Bay, with 5 new islands constructed along its path. The roadway would then deviate slightly to the northeast, where it would terminate at Indian Creek Village. An extra 4 islands would be created along 2 east-west roads that would unite with the causeway. One of these roads was along the modern route of the Julia Tuttle Causeway, and the other along the popular route of the 79th Street Causeway. However, at the end of the construction, what we have now is what stands as what we all know as the Venetian Islands. The Pearl-Qatar Island. The island, referred to as Pearl-Qatar in Doha, Qatar, is a man-made island spanning nearly 4 square kilometers. Interestingly, Pearl-Qatar Island is the first land in Qatar to be available to freehold ownership by foreign nationals. The Pearl-Qatar is UDC's prize project and one of the largest mixed-use developments in the Middle East. This artificial island sits on over 4 million square meters of reclaimed land and is situated 350 meters offshore of Doha's prestigious West Bay district. Divided into 10 architecturally distinct precincts inspired by the most charming Mediterranean cities, the Pearl-Qatar is considered an iconic site that embodies smart and sustainable features, offers an eclectic mix of residences, retail, F&B, and entertainment outlets, and houses Doha's fastest-growing community. The works started on this island back in August 2004 and were completed on the 6th of July 2006. The concept of construction opted for the Pearl-Qatar project differs considerably from that of other man-made island developments in the Middle East region. The first tenants started to live in Qanat Qadir 6 years after the completion of the island. Reportedly, the island is to have about 977 residential apartments in 31 buildings and 188 townhouses. Quick fact about this island: the island was the first urban development project in Qatar offering freehold ownership. It is the award-winning and largest marina in Qatar, and home to the world's biggest district cooling plant, with a total resident unit of 25,000. Besides having a total residential unit of only 25,000, this island currently has over 33,000 people living on it presently. An incredibly interesting part of this island is that it receives over 15 million visitors yearly. So, there you have it, guys, the world's most expensive man-made islands. Have you heard of any other very expensive artificial islands besides the ones listed here? Kindly share your thoughts and suggestions in the comments section below. If this video was insightful, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell button to be notified whenever we upload videos like this one.